2 O'Clock Courage from 1945 was a fun murder mystery movie with plenty of silly humor and just a touch of crime noir. Tom Conway and Ann Rutherford make a great couple as they try to unravel a somewhat contrived yet entertaining mystery in this film. And this is my review. So the film opens up with a mysterious unknown guy. He's at this street intersection on a foggy night. And I like the intro of this film as it has just a touch of film noir going on visibly, with like the fog and the mysterious elements of who is he, and he appears to have a head injury and he's disoriented. Well, he staggers across the street and he's almost hit by a cab driven by the character Patty, who's played by lovely actress Ann Rutherford, who offers to give him a ride. And he slowly starts to reveal that he has no memory of who he is. And Patty is a very sweet character who seems sympathetic and tries to help him with figuring out who he is. They have very little to go on, other than the initials RD, or could be DR, on his hat. So looking at a newspaper, they discover the headline, Robert Dilling Murdered, by someone who is wearing a pinstripe suit, which our mystery character just happens to be wearing. So they go and they find a tailor to get a new outfit, and while there, they hear on the radio about somebody else, Dilling's chauffeur, Dave Rennick, who is suspected of the murder. So also potentially the initials DR. So the mystery grows. Patty says that, he should just leave town because of this stuff going on, but he wants to get to the bottom of it, and he wants to go to Rennick's apartment to investigate, to try to get some of his memory back. While there at the empty apartment, Inspector Bill Brenner shows up. He's played by actor Emery Parnell, as well as reporter Al Haley, played by actor Richard Lane. And they are there and they begin asking questions of the two of them. And there's plenty of humor and quick zingers between all of them as their banter goes on. And everyone is trying to figure out who is everybody and what's going on. And Patty and her mystery man they're just trying to blend in at this point. So she kind of has them pose as a married couple and so on. Well, a manuscript is discovered called 2 O'Clock Courage, from where the title of the film comes, and it's determined that the producer had been cheating the authors out of their pay royalty. So as the mystery builds, they head to Patty's place so she can change, and there's a brief, funny encounter with the uptight landlady, Mrs. Tuttle, played by Sarah Edwards from films like, It's a Wonderful Life and The Bishop's Wife. So they kind of keep this guise of the newlywed couple going on to avoid her suspicion as they plan their next move. So Patty and her mystery guy decide to visit the Blue Room at the Regency Hotel to look for more clues. And again, there are some funny interactions here with the various characters who may or may not know who this mystery guy is. There's a drunken guy in a bar who might recognize him, and even the server, although when asked, he can't remember his name. And so this film kind of teases you as it goes with trying to unravel the mystery of who this guy is. We really want to know. Then suddenly, out of the blue, there's this beautiful woman who runs up to him and gives him a big kiss. Now, her name is Helen, and she's played by actress Jane Greer, who I saw recently in the movie Out of the Past. This was actually her first credited film role. And she remembers the mystery guy as somebody named Step. And the three of them all sit down to eat. And the dialogue is just great here, as we, the viewer, again, still have no idea what's going on. And it just seems to get more confusing as, new characters are introduced, they have different names for them and so on. And it's just the crazy confusion of it all. It just makes it a lot of fun. Things keep building as another guy, Mark Evans, played by Lester Matthews, shows up. And Step tries to make awkward introductions of everybody, not really even knowing who anyone is. Now, Evans is a writer of the play that Dilling was producing, but their meeting is interrupted when Evans gets into a fight with actor Steve Maitland, played by Roland Drew. Now, I have to admit, I found some of the subplot a little convoluted, and, we're trying to follow along with the memory loss thing, but then we've also got the plot of, what happened to this manuscript and so on. It can be a little tricky to keep up with, but it's just the funny interactions and so on in the film that kind of keep you going. Well, Helen leaves, and Step finds out from Evans that Maitland attacked him because he tried to stop the actor from appearing in his play. And it's at this point that Step discovers that his real name is actually Ted Allison, and that they had both attended college together. So slowly pieces of the puzzle are coming together. So finally knowing his own name, He and Patty call around to find any hotel that he may have been, checked in at. And sure enough, he's got a room at the Regency. So he goes to his room to try to dig around, find some clues, find out more about who he is. And honestly, with not much of the film left, I'm going to bring the story details to a close here and not give too much more away. But the police do continue their investigation. They continue to be suspicious of this mystery man, Ted Allison. There are some chases, and the film even turns a little more noir with the creepy music toward the end and the shadowy atmosphere as Ted struggles to unravel the mystery of what's going on with the 2 O'Clock Courage manuscript. And more importantly, who he is. Well, this was a fun mystery, and it's not one to take terribly seriously, but I really enjoyed it, and there's a fun little twist ending. So just a few closing thoughts about 2 O'Clock Courage. I really enjoyed the format of the film, which is sort of a blend of crime noir with murder mystery, with wacky romantic comedy blended in. And, I think it's neat when a film uses the lost memory gimmick and that we, the viewer, have to kind of follow along as the details are slowly unraveled to both the hero of the film and also to us, the viewer. I know it's sort of a cliche trope when someone gets bonked on the head and they're otherwise fine except for having forgotten basic stuff like their name and identity. But, come on, I grew up in the 80s. And they always use this device in things like MacGyver or Magnum P.I., where the hero is otherwise fine but just can't remember what his name is or who his friends are until the end of the episode. But for the sake of this film, which does have plenty of wackiness in any case, it's fine. And by the way, very slight spoiler here, but a little later in the film, the hero will receive a second injury, and that serves to restore his lost memory. I guess apparently all it takes is another blow to the head, and then the brain is stirred back to normal again. I can only imagine what a neuroscientist thinks when watching something like this, but whatever. It's all fun. It's a gimmick that I enjoy in films like this. I've grown to appreciate actor Tom Holland in several of the films I've seen him in and reviewed on this channel. He usually plays the smooth and convincing English fellow in films like Whistle Stop and Cat People, and even in sillier films like Bride of the Gorilla. One of the things I've read about his character in this film is that it's apparently reminiscent of another role he played, The Falcon, which was a series of films I haven't seen yet, but I would actually like to check out. Ann Rutherford was gorgeous and bubbly as this silly companion for the mystery character of this film. And I thought she added a lot of sweetness to this film as well, although unfortunately, her character seems to be missing through the latter half of the film. You don't see her quite as much. As an actress, I don't think I've seen her in many of the reviews I've done, but she is well known for playing Scarlett O'Hara's younger sister in the classic Gone with the Wind in 1939. This was the first film at RKO for director Anthony Mann. He also directed the film The Great Flammarion, another film I reviewed on this channel. And as mentioned before, this film was the first credited role for actress Jane Greer. And although she's briefly in the film, it was kind of neat to see her here. So that's 2 O'Clock Courage, 1945. It's a fun murder mystery film with a little bit of romance and silliness all thrown in. It's a great film worth checking out.